same motherfucking room. Getting shit done. You ain't gonna believe this shit. Woo!
You have a lot of individuals out there that are clout chasing. You have a lot of individuals out there that are making their self something that they are not. Most live a lie. And we're going to talk about it. Without further ado, grab your shoulder pads and your helmet. Peep this shit out.
Platform to be fake.
Why would you call her a doctor, brother? I'm not saying your platform is fake at all. I'm just saying, when somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's her colleagues? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
Corey Holcomb said some things about you, about not having your degree and where you started off raw as I guess working in a strip club. Is any of that stuff true?
You say you're not a real.
Before we continue, watch her facial micros. Watch her facial expressions when something is said or a direct question is asked. Pay attention. These are those little things, those little minor things that we should all pay attention to.
You know, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies.
If somebody is a doctor, they will be proud to show you, I'm a doctor. She can't do it. She just says it. This is a fantasy that woman is living.
My doctorate degree is in counseling psychology. My master's is in marriage, family, child therapy. All degrees are in psychology.
You don't find that suspicious?
And Corey Holcomb has done that research. You know, she went to West LA, where I went, you know, from Cali, you know, where I'm from. Again, you have some people that get online degrees, and some of those online degrees are not credited. Some are. But with Cheyenne Bryant, it's a thing that irks me about her. When I look into her, I see many things. I see many flags, red flags at that.
I don't think she a doctor. If I am, show me where you got your doctorate, and I would love to talk to some of your colleagues.
My doctorate, I transitioned to a psychology expert, life coach, so that my hands wouldn't be tied behind my back. Because when I was a therapist working for a nonprofit under a license, there's so many things that you cannot do based on ethics and law that, in my opinion, it negates and it really takes away from the real therapeutic experience.
I mean, come on. Where is the proof that you're a doctor? Can you just do that online instead of all of the glamour videos with all the makeup on and everything? Show us you're a doctor and how you became a doctor and how you practice being a doctor. You're just doing internet talk like everybody else, except you wanted to put doctor on your name.
Until someone comes along and exposes that and says, wait a minute, I've done the research. The math is not mathing. It's not adding up. Something is off here. What is it? And then they go as far as asking you a direct question. And if you cannot give a direct answer to a direct question, there you have it. This is exposure season.
She just needs to be alone. That's the only solution for her. She wants all of that plus access to the funds. Get the entire out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got real people on the internet.
Yes, have him calling. I want to know how many kids he got, what is his income, and how many times he been married. And he might be right. I might need to be alone because I'm always in a relationship because I don't seem to have an issue with getting a man or ring or anything.
No, she don't. The last time I checked, she was in a relationship with another woman. Let's be clear about that. No, she don't need to be in a relationship because she has a lot of baggage. She has a lot of things that she's carrying, that she has been carrying, that stimulated from her childhood. You can see it on her face. When an individual has have had a lot of childhood trauma. You see it on their face, and they haven't addressed it and deal with it and heal with it. You see it on their face. They wear it. Her being in a relationship with another woman. So why would I want to take relationship advice from someone that's still carrying shit from their past? Why would I want to take relationship advice from someone that didn't go to a school where they graduated as a doctor?
Brutality.
Whoever that was, Mr. Broke Man with no tax, can you call in, bruh? When I have a medical crisis, I want to make sure that I am doing research, that I am finding out the credentials of the top medical professionals in their field, in their space, those who have practiced for several years, those who went to top schools, who graduated top of their class, who have accolades, who have proven their record. I'm just wondering why women are so okay with accepting advice from other women who have not had a successful relationship. The thing is that if I am intimate with the man and get pregnant, and he plans on running off with his other baby mom or making more kids or whatever he wants to do, I'm not about to be stuck with our baby and sit up in the house like a lot of women do and not tax your brown tail. And if you have a problem with it, when you see me, don't date me, don't ask me for my number, because I don't want you anyway. Women who have failed relationships, women who can get an engagement but can't get down the aisle, for women who like to talk the talk but don't actually walk the walk. Why would you?
And I agree. I agree. When I look at, I was told about Dr. Carmen Bryant. And when I was going through what I was going through, I did the research on Dr. Carmen Bryant. Okay. Dr. Carmen Bryant is very, very credible. I would advise anyone that needs therapy, go see her. When I tell you, just go on her YouTube channel. She breaks everything down. Dr. Carmen Bryant has things to back her name up. She has degrees, she has experience to back her name up. She is credible. Cheyenne Bryant, hell no. Especially when she sat up there and said, Offset DM'd me. You really fucked up with that one. Certain things are to remain private, and people's privacy is very important.
We got a point.
You fucked that up. Let's continue.
With taking any advice from women just because they're really good at tearing down men, but don't actually have any understanding of what it takes to get a good man. And we know that because you're not practicing what you preach, right?
A good woman is somewhere being a good woman. That's why you don't see them in the club half naked, sweated out in the summertime. That's why you don't see them on a podcast or on TV somewhere talking about, let me tell you something. Oh, yeah. That ain't no good woman. That woman for the streets.
A woman of good character, you're not going to see her out there wilding and styling. She going to move quietly and strategically. Still enjoy living her best life, but she's going to do it with class. She's going to be respectful. And that's how a woman of good character moves. That's why a woman of good character is respected. When you have a woman that's, loose booty, modern feminist, spider monkey, nigger lip pirate, moving in a worldly way, they're going to get them type of worldly results.
Most of the villains I know are women. Most of the villains I know are women. Let me tell you why men don't walk up to men and try to play each other, because we kill each other.
Man.
When men disrespect each other face to face, it can turn into blank, 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 like Mike M said.
We will not only show that struggle Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is not only a grifter, but the biggest internet fraud in the past 365 days.
1.
By intentionally misstating facts designed to drive women of the community, and when I say that, I mean black women, to hate black men.
You don't find that suspicious?
She know what she doing. And the audience that follows her, they all are of the same type. Broken, bitter, angry, hard-headed, stubborn. If it walk like a duck, it sound like a duck, damn it, it's a duck.
To make a woman upset, and by doing this, she is just driving more women to her side, and her side is not the side you think it is, but we'll get to that a little later. But you ladies are falling for the scam, hook, line, and sinker. She's just a female version of Derek Jackson.
Not a day goes by without black men getting lied on by black women.
Black men do not want to marry. It says 90%, and you can talk about facts, but I'm going to give you stats, Willie. 90% of black men would never marry. 30% of black women would never be married and have to marry outside their race if they want to.
But you're not saying why. When you look at the reason why a large number of men, they are marrying. They are marrying. A large number of them do not want to marry black women because of the behavior that they see within black women. Not all black women are the same, okay? Not all black women move that way. The West Coast to the East Coast to the Midwest to the South. You got good and bad wherever you go. It's just that wherever you go, the scales change. When it comes to marriage, okay, does it really benefit men? To be honest with you, yes and no. Yes, it benefits men depending on the type of woman that you marry. If you marry a woman of good character, a woman of integrity, a woman that knows how to love, ready to love, and treat you with respect and give you peace, yes, that's worth it. But if you're dealing with the woman that is worldly, a woman that is from the streets, for the streets, correction. A woman that has not heard a man's voice, meaning does not know what it takes to keep a man, can get a man, but can't keep one. That's a problem. Then marriage is not for you.
Fatality.
What is that, ma'am? What says that 90% of black men will never marry?
Always beware when somebody comes citing stats that are uncited that she won't even say where she got the stats from. What she's doing is she's having an argument from authority.
I wanted to stop it right there. Look at her face. I mean, you would probably want to smash. Or you probably would not want to smash, because there's a lot to take in when you deal with her or a woman like her. There's a lot. And sometimes the juice is just not worth the squeeze.
So-called doctor, she's saying something with her chest, full-flooded, a lie, knowing that the sisterhood will believe her. That's the only game here. And that's why her pseudoscience and pseudo-facts are so easily destroyed with one simple search.
90%. She said, it says. What says? It. What stats? I got the stats. The statement that 90% of black men will never marry is not accurate. Marriage rates for black adults. According to Pew Research, 36% of black men are married, compared with 29% of black women. The marriage rates for black men. Pew Research Center reports that 55% of black men are unpartnered. Marriage rates for black women are 3 times as likely as white women to never marry.
What did he say?
So basically, the good doctor just jumped on a national internet forum with 1 million people watching it and just lied wholeheartedly, full frontal, full-throated, lied on black men in the United States of America, citing things that she had no accountable resources for. And this is a doctor, a scientist, someone who does their homework, is diagnose somebody live on the air with millions of people watching without actually examining them.
So all that bullshit you was talking about when you went on Nick Cannon's show and Cam Newton's show, trying to bang on them, but what's that say about you? How you gonna go on somebody else's platform and bang on them and try to tell them about theyself? But soon as they tell you about yourself, you get in your feelings, you get triggered. The fuck out of here.
Violation of HIPAA and privacy, but also an ethical violation as well. And make no mistake, the only reason why this person is on any platform is simple. She has a doctor in front of her name and she's acquired fame from a whirlwind tour of social media. She is trading on her credentials and putting her personal opinion and dislike of somebody and framing it as a professional diagnosis. And this is evident because she said she wanted to have an off-camera counseling session with him. Even though she's not licensed to have such session, she is just a life coach. And a life coach is someone that can help you maximize your life potential, but not diagnose any issues. She is not licensed or qualified to do so. But the crux of the whole situation is the only reason why anybody pays attention to her is because she calls herself a doctor.
Not only that, but, you know, yeah, she's good to look at and so forth. And yeah, she was on Basketball Wives. And yeah, you know, she's cutting up. But here's the thing, though. When you look at it for what it really is, and you look at it for how it go, you know, I ain't knocking the hustle, but stay true to the game. You ain't nothing but a life coach. There's nothing about you that says doctor.
We got a point.
Corey Holcomb thing comes from is I was on a show 10 years ago when I think it was before I even had my doctorate degree. And Corey is used to being able to be very disrespectful to women and do his thing.
You was on the show with him or just?
He was a guest on the show. I was co-hosting.
Okay.
He was a guest. And I drilled his ass. To be honest, it's on YouTube. People could, look at it. And I cut into him and I said, "You seem like you are inferior to white men."
Shame as a tactic to get your way, you may be low value. If you're often insulting to get your way, or to shut people up or shut people down, you may be low value. You know what's the next one? The incessant need to be right.